Hello and welcome back to another video. Now I'm sadly not on holiday, I'm stuck at home, I'm in my room. I have the holiday blues. I've been home from my last holiday for like 3 weeks now, but already the day we got back I was like, where am I going next? When am I gonna book something else? I do already have a few ideas for holidays and we've got a few plans. Hopefully they will materialise and we will actually book places, but in the meantime I'm going to settle for reminiscing and talking as much as I can and for as many videos as I can about my Orlando holiday. Now I know I have just posted 6 separate videos, I was like 6 parts. When I came home I realised, oh my god, I've got like hours and hours of footage that I need to like edit and upload. So I was like, the only thing I can do is just put them into so many different parts. So sorry that there were loads of parts, but I do hope that you enjoyed them all, or any random ones that you did watch, but thank you for watching. But as you all saw, it was a jam-packed holiday. I learned so much. I've got loads of tips and tricks that I want to relay in future vlogs. And also I just wanted to give reviews of things that I did, hotels that I stayed in, and just things like that. So this is going to be my first post Orlando vlog where I talk about the holiday, and I thought I'll start off with how this came about, how I planned, and essentially budgets, spending money, where we stayed, and sort of like things like that. When you book a Disney, Universal, Orlando, Florida holiday, or wherever you go, there's a lot of planning. It's not just simply going online or calling someone up going, I'm gonna go on a 2-week or 3-week holiday, get me booked on those flights, get me booked in that hotel. No, it's almost like a full-time job planning this type of holiday. But I was loving it. I love looking and researching different holidays, comparing prices, looking at benefits you get for certain hotels, looking at the flight costs for different airlines. I love that, and I think it is because my full-time job is in travel anyway, so I do that on a daily basis, so I'm going to utilise those skills for my own family holiday. So I hope you enjoy this vlog, and I hope that this helps you when you maybe plan a Florida holiday, a Disney holiday, a Universal holiday, any Orlando holiday in general. I just hope this helps you. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. This is like a story time with Char about how she booked her holiday, but I am going to take it right back to the beginning. So we had not planned to book Florida at all. We had actually planned to do an all-inclusive holiday to Greece. Very different, I know. My family, my dad specifically, we think in a past life or in another life he was Greek, because he is obsessed with going to Greece. My parents met in Greece, they had a holiday romance. 30 years later they're still married and they've got us. But yeah, so that was essentially our plan, was, oh, let's go on a nice family holiday. We were going to go to Rhodes, and we thought, when do we all have time off? Let's all look at when we've got, you know, when we can book annual leave. And we decided either the 1st of July to the 15th or the 2nd to the 16th. We thought, great, not in the school holidays, so it was just beforehand, so we thought, great, not going to be packed full of school children. Lol, I know, where did we end up? But anyway, I'll get back to that. So then we were just looking at holidays to Greece, and then randomly one day, nothing in particular was going on, me and Mum were just having a chat about holidays, and we suddenly thought, oh, we haven't actually been to Orlando in a couple of years. It's been about 6-7 years. So then we were like, well, why don't we go on this July holiday to Florida? Anyway, so we brought our idea to the floor to the rest of the group. My dad, as you all know, watching my previous videos of the said Orlando holiday, he's not really into theme parks or anything like that, so he wasn't really bothered, and suddenly taking away his lifelong dream of going back to Greece was pretty much like given him divorce papers, so he was a bit like, no. But the rest of us, we were like, we think we're gonna do it. So then obviously, because my dad doesn't really have a say in this family and it was 4 against 1, we then decided to go, well, let's go to Orlando then, let's start planning a holiday. We know deep down that he was actually excited. He loves America. He especially loves driving in America. Sadly, that didn't materialise because hiring a car was ridiculously expensive, but he was still happy to go there because he does love America. So in the end, it worked out. So then we were looking, again were looking at either the 1st to the 15th or the 2nd to the 16th. We all had 2 weeks available for annual leave. And then we thought, oh, we're going to be in America for 4th of July. So 1, it'll be packed when we're there for the first weekend. And 2, we also realised in America, their school holidays are a lot earlier than in the UK. So when we were also there, it would be packed full of kids, which was like completely contradicting our original plans. So we thought, hey ho, not going to let that mess with our plans. We'll continue with this holiday. And as I said earlier, I was religiously looking at every single website I could find that offered Florida holidays, probably also doing it whilst I was actually working. So apologies if anyone from work's watching this, but I was doing that, sorry. And we came across that I don't know if anyone else does this, but we do like to stick with companies that we trust. And one of those is British Airways. We usually fly with BA. We never have any issues with BA. And we have like Avios points that we're starting to get. So we looked at BA and we kept obviously refreshing every day, seeing if there was any offers on, things like that. And we were getting stuck because we did realise, I think because of what we have said, 4th of July, school holidays, it's going to be busy. The prices are probably going to be higher than what we're used to. And at this point in the video, I'll quickly mention our budget. So we all paid for ourselves. Obviously, we're in our 20s. I don't know why anyone would expect otherwise, but I obviously just want to mention that in case you think that my parents paid. They did not. They obviously paid for themselves. But we also, the 3 kids, also paid for ourselves. Now, we were sort of looking at what the prices would be, the prices of tickets, budget, things like that, and spending money, and we sort of all agreed that we don't want to spend more than like $2,500. So, and we think that was fair based on the prices. So our budget was like nothing more than, I would say probably even less than 2,500, probably around 2,200, something like that. I'm not made of money. I wish I was, because then I could travel a lot more and basically do this as a full-time job, because that is my absolute dream. But I still had dreams within that budget, so I'm gonna make it work. After like a few months, it was probably a few months of us looking and just going, no, this is still too pricey. We were looking at hotels as well. We did start off by looking at villas and obviously car rental with flights, but we figured out that was extortionate, so we went back to hotel. We were being a bit picky. We did want someone with breakfast. I know, silly. We did want somewhere that was close to Disney, because that was our sort of where we were going to spend most of our time on this holiday. So we wanted almost transfers, or somewhere that we could get to maybe a Disney hotel and get their free transfers. But we were being a bit picky. We did have a list of things that we wanted to have in this package. And then after a few months of thinking, well, this is never going to happen, we're going to just not end up going, a hotel came up on the BA website, which was a brand new hotel called the Drury Plaza in the Disney Springs area. Now, yeah, you know how this ends, because we stayed in it, obviously. But we found basically everything we wanted in this hotel, and flights. So the flights and the hotel together were about $1,200, and then we had to add the tickets on, which were 14 days Disney and 14 days Universal, which came to about $800. So it was about $2,000 per person. More than happy with that. I will talk more in another video, because I'm going to do an overall video on the Jewellery Plaza, but they had basically everything that we requested. Free transfers, they had coffee, soda, popcorn, alcohol, three alcoholic drinks per person per day, breakfast as well. So we were thrilled with that, and it was in the Disney Springs area, so we could walk to Disney Springs. We were happy, so we were like, book it. And when I say it was a new hotel, it was like a couple of months old, so we didn't really know much about it. From the reviews, the very few reviews on like Trip and just from where we were seeing online, it was a 5-star hotel. So we were like, oh my god. And then I was watching YouTube videos of people going there, staying there, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the benefits you get. That the rooms are so nice. You get a swimming pool, like there's a shop in there, and all sorts of things within the hotel. We were so excited, so we of course booked that. And then we booked it in February of 23 to then go in obviously July 23. So we booked it a couple of months prior, but as soon as we clicked book, we were buzzing. And I have had a brief look at the moment still, and the Hotel Jewellery Plaza is still listed on the BA website, so you can still book. It's still a great price. As I said, we're making or trying to make plans to go back there, and it keeps popping up at an amazing price. All the amenities are still there, because there were talks of them like removing some of the amenities, but it's still all there. Like, you still get everything that we had, so you can still book it. It is, I can't fault it. And again, I'm going to talk more about the hotel in another video, but 100% recommend it. So definitely, if you're looking at booking that type of resort or hotel near Disney, definitely one to look at. Now, we booked our Disney and Universal tickets with the BA package, so we had all of that together, and as I said, it came to around 2,100 or something like that per person. So all we needed to do following that was link our Disney tickets to the My Disney Experience app, and with the Universal tickets, you couldn't actually get the physical ticket until you went to Universal and picked them up at like the will call kiosk, which again I'll talk about more in another video. But yeah, we had all of that planned, got all the Disney stuff sorted, linked all our tickets together and sort of linked them with each other. And yeah, we were good to go with that. At this point as well, we decided to join a few Facebook groups, the main ones being like Orlando Tips for Brits. I think there was a couple of groups called that. Walt Disney Tips and Tricks. They mainly gave reviews, places to eat, hotel reviews that they stayed at. A few of them were the Jewellery Plaza, and again, all 5 stars, like all around. So we were like, oh my god, yes. And yeah, tips about Genie Plus, where to eat, how to book reservations in advance. So that really did help our planning process, because we knew maybe where to avoid, where definitely people are recommending, and just things like that. It was just nice to chat with fellow Disney planners or Orlando planners. And because our flights were at 10, I think they were 10:30 or 10:40 in the morning, we stayed at Gatwick the night before. We stayed at the same hotel as the one that we stayed at before on our cruise videos back in November. So we did that because it was just familiar to us. We knew exactly where we needed to park the car, because we did the same parking as well. So we knew where to park the car, where to go, where we needed to be in terms of like the terminal, and exactly where to go. So that was all booked as well. And then speaking of hotels, we also were looking at Universal and express passes and the queue times, because with Disney included were like the memory maker, where you've got the, you know, you can get ride photos and stuff, but we also knew we were going to do Genie Plus, which used to be Fast Pass, which we used to have included with our UK tickets. Sadly not now. Genie Plus, you have to pay a certain amount like per person per day if you want to utilise that and use it. Don't have to all day every day, but we did a couple of days. But then we were thinking, well, Universal, it's probably going to be very busy, because again, it's 4th of July, and it's the, you know, their summer vacation. So we thought, okay, well, how much are express passes? So we had a look. I kid you not, extortionate prices. I couldn't, I was like, you're lying to me. I was looking and I was like, no, this I've gone on a fake, like, not legit website. But it was per person per day about $250. So we were like, nah. But then we found something out. We found out that at Universal there are 3 hotels, premium premier hotels, that include express passes for each person on the booking included in the hotel booking. So what did we do? We booked a 1-night stay in one of the hotels to get 2 days of express passes. Again, expect another video about this hotel and why we did it and how much money we saved. But we stayed at the Lowe's Royal Pacific for 1 night. We didn't even stay in it, my mum and dad did. We went back to the Jewellery Plaza, but let me tell you, it was a bargain compared to what we would have paid per person for the 2 days. So again, I'll talk about it in another video, but that's definitely something to look into if you want express passes. Book a hotel stay in one of the 3 premier hotels at Universal. So, spending money. Now, again, going from people's advice and reviews and tips on these Facebook groups, a lot of people were saying $100 per person per day. Now, I think that's fine if there's maybe 2 of you, or if you're having to maybe pay for, like, if it's 2 adults, 2 children and things like that. But I think it obviously just does depend on if you're going to eat out a lot more, if you're going to maybe do a dining plan, which, well, they weren't at the time, but they're bringing them back. And I think it just depends on your holiday. I wouldn't maybe take advice like that, like don't give someone a set price, because their holiday experience or planning might be different to yours. But in terms of what we did pre-book about 5 Disney dining reservations, and then the rest of it we were just like gonna just see where we were gonna eat randomly, where we were at that time, at that day. Now, don't forget, because we stayed at the Jewellery Plaza, we did get breakfast, so we didn't have to pay for breakfast. And we also had all the drinks included, so we didn't need to pay for specialty coffee or anything, because we were happy with the coffee that was included in the hotel. But they also had what they called kickback, which was essentially a dinner. So there were some times where we could go back to the hotel and have dinner, which was again included. But putting all of that together and thinking about what we were going to do, I personally took, for 14 nights, 14 days, I took £1,400. I came back with £500. So I didn't even spend 1,400. I will say between the 5 of us, we all did pay for certain things. So for example, when we had dinner at Steakhouse 71 at the Contemporary Resort, that was my idea to dine there, and it was very expensive, so I decided to pay for it. It was about $250, $260. So that was me that decided to pay for that. My parents, if we went out for Matt's birthday to the Cheesecake Factory, my parents paid for that. My sister paid for the Roundup Rodeo barbecue at Hollywood Studios, because she had sort of planned for us to do that. So we all paid for different things. So I think that's why we did all come home with money, because we all sort of chipped in and paid for meals. That also included the merch. Like, I still came back with 500 quid and I bought so much merch when I'm there. I mean, you saw in my like haul video in one of those vlogs, I bought loads of stuff, and I'm wearing one of them now. You can't really see it, but I'm wearing the Coca-Cola Orlando t-shirt, which I didn't actually show you. If you watch that video, this was the thing that was missing for me to show you, because my dad took the Coke bag. So this was it. But yeah, that included merch that we bought, not just for Disney but for Universal. We also went to like the Character Warehouse. We also went to other places as well, like the Vineland International Premium Outlets. So yeah, I'm just as surprised as you are that I came home with money. I do think though, if we didn't have kickback, if we didn't have breakfast, if we didn't have the free shuttles, obviously we would have had to have spent money on all of that stuff as well. So I think where we stayed did really help with our spending money and our budget for spending out there. So I think that really did help. I will say though, I keep saying like the free shuttles, a lot of the time we didn't actually use them. You could use them for free. You didn't have to really do anything other than just turn up at the time that it's stated on the sheet that you get. But a lot of the time we used Ubers and Lyfts because we either maybe didn't want to go at the time that was scheduled on the bus times. We maybe wanted to go earlier for early entry, or later because we wanted to have a lay-in. So we did use Ubers and Lyfts. So I probably would have saved even more money if we just used the free shuttle. But I don't feel that we all went ridiculous in terms of spending money. I think, yes, we could have spent definitely a lot more if we maybe purchased more merch, had more dinners out, but we didn't. We were happy with what we did. We even actually cancelled a few of our reservations because we pre-booked them at 60 days, which we're allowed to do if you book I think it's a Disney resort or a Disney partner hotel, which is what we did. But because we planned this like 2 months prior, on the day of a reservation, we would either be in a different park or we would have changed our plans by then. So we did cancel a couple of them. I remember one, we were meant to go to Sebastian's Bistro, but we were at Typhoon Lagoon and we were like, if we want to make our reservation, we have to leave in like an hour. And we were like, let's just cancel it. And I think you can cancel it free of charge if it's no later than 2 hours. If that makes sense. That didn't make sense. If you, within 2 hours of the reservation, you get charged, but any time outside of the 2 hours, you're fine. Just remember 2 hours, if that did make sense. Did it make sense? Just 2 hours, guys, 2 hours. This may have changed by then. So if it isn't that, I'm sorry, but it was at the time. And then next thing you know, it was time to travel up to Gatwick. So we stayed in a lovely cheap Premier Inn, which Premier Inn's a Premier Inn, hotel's a hotel. We stayed there for the night. We've done it before, like I said, with our Caribbean cruise. I would always recommend that hotel actually because it is so convenient. Even if you're parking as well, we did purple parking meet and greet where you park at the Sofitel next door and then you literally walk about 2 minutes and then you're at the Premier Inn, and then the Gatwick North Terminal's like there, like a 5-minute walk across the road. So that we think was great planning and definitely recommend it. And then it was time to fly to the happiest and most magical place on earth. And we just had the best time, honestly. It was the best 2 weeks. I was so grumpy coming home. I still am grumpy. I want to go back. I hate life without Disney and Universal. I want to go back. Luckily it's something we're planning to do, so in the meantime I am just going to talk and talk and talk as much as I can about my holiday. I'm going to re-watch my own vlogs because I love doing that to reminisce. Does anyone else do that if they have a YouTube channel? Do they re-watch videos? Not like for a vanity thing, just because they love to reminisce about what they filmed and the memories that they made. I just love it. So that's what gets me through not being able to go on holiday. It's just rewatching all of my holiday. But we did have the absolute best time there. I think in terms of our planning, I think we did the best thing. We definitely were so lucky with our hotel. Again, spending money, we came back with money. So we were absolutely thrilled and had the best time. So just talking about upcoming vlogs, I will be doing some videos about more specific things such as the Jewellery Plaza, using Genie Plus. I'm going to do reviews on some new rides that I went on and that are new to everyone, such as Tron. And yeah, just talking about the holiday really, just giving reviews, tips, things that we learned, things that we might do different next time. But yeah, look forward to those videos. If you have enjoyed my 6 Orlando vlogs, again, sorry there were so many, just be sure to keep an eye out for some future vlogs I do where I'm still talking. Yes, you will be hearing my voice a lot more. Sorry, but I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you do enjoy my future videos as well. So thank you for watching. I hope this did help you when it comes to planning a Florida holiday. I will put some links down below to where I booked, things that I looked at, like Facebook groups and whatnot. And yeah, thank you for watching and I'll see you soon.